What's up, guys? My name is Gilgamesh39, and this is the next episode of Builds for Beginners. This episode is the human male Sentinel. This time I am using an uncommon weapon with a common character. And for those of you who don't know, this is Build for Beginners, where I take a common or uncommon character and use a common or uncommon weapon with it and try and do well with it in silver. I do use these things on gold occasionally, but just so I'm playing with my friends, easier to record, less pressure, all that goodness. I figured silver is an okay starting point, so without further ado, let's get into the build. So, well, hopefully I show it fairly quickly here. Hurry up there. Okay, there we go. So, equipment, I am using the warp rounds because of that extra bonus to primed targets. Pistol rail amp, obviously, and the power recharge thing. And the phalanx with the piercing mod and the damage barrel. The clip size in the phalanx is good enough for me. So there you go. Tech armor, I just put 4 points into it. I can understand some people skipping it, but I'd like to throw it on there anyway. Alliance trading up at 4 on that as well. Spec it for damage and protection on the tech armor. Biotic explosions for warp and throw, and for the passives I put it in the power 1, whichever one that is. I think it's power damage and force, I think is what it is. Yeah. And then yeah, full fitness for survivability, just because if you guys are beginners, then it's always nice to have that little bit of a tankiness. And you do notice it even on gold, so just trust me when I say that. So anyways, I'll be right back when I'm into the game. Alright, so we're back. I switched it to Reapers while you guys weren't watching. Just because the friends that I'm rolling with, we just like Reapers the most. So anyway, I was saying the Phalanx has a nice clip for it, so I wouldn't put the clip thing on unless you want a lot of shots. I think you get like 20 something, like low 20s with the clip extender, and that's magazine extender, and that's pretty nice. But like I said, the 12 is just fine, especially since this is a power based guy, and usually you should be using this for follow-up shots with this build anyway. But if those of you who have been playing the Mass Effect series a little bit longer, and this is your first time playing multiplayer, which I totally understand, you guys might remember that the Sentinel is described as the jack of all trades, master of none, that typical saying. This is really the case, especially with the human Sentinel. The human Sentinel, there's really no wrong way to play him. And by that I mean pretty much any sort of thing you can do with your points, if you play it correctly, is perfectly viable, no matter what the strategy you pick. So the one I am going with right here is the Biotic Explosion with a Warp Throw. That's just one that I find very, very good. The Asari Adept is also good with this. That's what it's really known for, as well as the Stasis thing. So basically, this guy is a slightly tankier version of the Asari Adept that has a little bit more bonuses to powers if you put that in. If you put points in tech armor, so a little bit tankier, but the explosions are slower. Like you're doing them less often, but you're dying less. So it really depends on if you want to sacrifice damage output for being able to survive, and that one is one I can't make that choice for you. So I personally went with the survivability one. It's always nice to have, and it's the default human Sentinel that everyone has. So there you go. Some other builds I have seen work very well is I think Ryan has a one with just maxed throw and then his weapon damage. Throw recharges very quickly, and if you upgrade the force and damage with it instead of the biotic explosion stuff, you get a really hard hitting power that stuns stuff. Nice travel time, and it's just a good all around thing for maybe put an assault rifle on him or a shotgun, and then you can walk into stuff and just stun it on command, basically, and then unload on it with your gun, and he doesn't put that much into warp, but then puts stuff in tech armor for durability, and it ends up being a good time, and it's works surprisingly well. I'd say that's probably better on lower difficulties. Might not work so well on higher difficulties. We haven't used it on that ever, but it's definitely a viable thing. The other thing I've seen people do is go weapons build with warp, spec for debuffing. That's a very common thing as well. And those are really the main three that I see. I went with the powers one just because, you know, why not? That's what I wanted to do. And because at the time I don't think I had the Asari Adept, but now I do, so there you go. And once again, I am playing against Reapers. We decided that would be best, and because I think I mentioned last video, any character that's biotic in nature, especially one that's explosions, that is best played against Reapers, just because they oh, I forgot about that. Well, whatever. Oh, and then we get to watch my friend Connor glitch around the map. he, he was explaining that he couldn't take cover while this was going on. And I spectated from his screen. It was extremely amusing because he's, you know, butt scooting around the map. But anyway, what was I say? It's something about biotic explosions and how they're best against Reapers because that has barriers and armor and all that goodness. And that's what biotics are best against. If you're playing the weapons builds, you know, with either the throw or the warp, you know, whatever, that's either one is good for that. So, again, Reaper's probably the best. And with this build, you want to keep your cooldown low, just because, you know, the warp throw and the tech armor will be decreasing your recharge speed. So, using a pistol like I have, and with even with just 4 points in the passive, the Phalanx 10 has a 200% recharge speed. Phalanx again is an excellent starter pistol for casters. Does good damage at a slightly lower fire rate, but it's also very, very light. If you are still concerned about weight, like say maybe you have only like the Phalanx 1 or don't have the Phalanx, something like that, the Predator will do you just fine. It's really only used in this gameplay is for follow-up shots and, you know, shooting stuff that is in between explosions, and that is why warp rounds are good. It's because warp rounds, they do extra damage to things that are primed for biotic explosions. However, once you detonate it, you lose that damage boost, so you just got to be aware of that. But it's a really nice nice thing you can use, and turns out to be very effective when you have warp. So that's another thing the weapons build has going for it if you use warp. And then I know warp incendiary ammo is like the thing to use, but warp followed by warp rounds is just as fine as well. So this guy is pretty good at he's very good at killing bosses, just because that's the nature of biotic explosions. They're big and slow, and you can wail on them a lot. Like this brute goes down, no problem. Again, they took it down to about half health, but again, that was 3 bars. And silver, that's not too shabby. So the biotic explosions just always going to be king. And with throw, if you need crowd control stuff, you can take the throw is an AoE radius, which I would recommend you take, just because that means that if you're dealing with lag, or maybe if you throw the wrong thing and then it's standing right next to the thing you wanted to detonate, you still have that wiggle room. That's pretty nice. But you saw there, that was a brute. I had very little help. I don't think I had any help from my friends, and that went down no problem. These little guys that can shoot at you with their guns while you're wailing on them, those are the guys you got to watch out for, because there's a lot of them. You can't hit all of them with biotic powers and stuff, so that's when you gotta bust out the gun, or maybe back up, let someone else take care of it. I know Connor is playing the Batarian Soldier, which is a crowd control monster, and then there's the I think the Destroyer, which is you know, just a jack of all trades, just an all-around good soldier. So here's a Banshee. We're all 3 wailing on it, but I chose it as my duty to take care of the Banshees, and I would always lure them to this part of the map. For those of you who don't know, Banshees cannot sync kill you. No unit can sync kill you if you're on a different Y-axis than them. So if you are on a different incline than they are, they can't get you. So that's why I use stairs like this, because I don't, but if I wanted to, I could just go up right next to her and start punching her if I really, really wanted to. She can't grab me or pick me up and instantly kill me if she is on a different height level than I am. So that's why maps like this are very good for Reapers that have 2 sync kill units. just because you have this nice gradient. As long as you're on it and on a different level than she is, then she can't get you. And she can still get you if you are like on the same level as she is, but still on the incline. You'll still get hit by it. So I was the chosen Banshee killer because, again, I said I have lots of crowd control ability, or not crowd control, boss killing abilities, but zero crowd control abilities. Well, not zero, but just not that much. The phalanx is good, but not that good. So yeah, you see him getting a lot of phalanx kills. Again, that's just because there's lots of cannibals on the silver and stuff, and this guy can't handle those as well. But Human Sentinel, all around good class. Don't sleep on it. I know Excalizors did a video about the Human Sentinel with the Falcon, and then a lot of people were saying like, whoa, 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 you can't recommend the Falcon because that's a rare weapon. So I mean, I wanted to do a video of me using something that wasn't a rare weapon on him and doing really well. And in situations like this, especially, where this guy really shines, and where there's a lot of dudes grouped together that are armor based, those Ravagers and those Brutes. I mean, they could do nothing. I was, first of all, in a kind of a cheesy spot. I could shoot at him, but then also just detonating the biotic explosions, and since there were so many people around them, they were already damaged, and all the explosions ended up killing them. So this guy's very good for stuff like slow-moving targets that are easy to hit, and whatever's around that, I guess would be the best way to say that. So if you're lucky enough to get a cannibal or a marauder next to whatever you're shooting at, then you can take that out no problem. But by itself, it's probably better to just rely on your gun, especially like in this situation right there. There's nothing I can do right there, so I just gotta play it smart, take them out one by one, like this. And luckily cannibals are stupid and will cluster up around dead bodies, so that's actually a really nice thing about Reapers. Like this guy right here completely ignores me on the objective and just goes to eat his dead friend over there, and meanwhile friend Connor's wailing on him with the Harrier. Yeah, I mean, that's really all I have to say about this guy. I mean, you can see that he's very effective on silver. Banshees are not as much of a problem. They do that power absorption technique thing, and that's a little bit annoying. You can't really do much against that. That's when you're going to have to rely on your gun. But the warp throw, always a good biotic combo. Not as good as warp shockwave in terms of damage output, but warp throw is still very good. Just because it has that range that you can use. You can hit things from really far away. But again, both of those have travel times, so you do have that little bit of a disadvantage as opposed to like a Reeve something. But we're all shooting him. He was really confused as to what was going on. Oh, and I almost forgot, like I just did, even though it was to bug Connor. You can detonate tech armor if you really are in like a oh crap situation. So I think I can kill this guy with tech armor. I don't remember. Yep, there we go. Yeah. So you do have tech armor. And actually, I suppose that's another build that you could do if you want to mess around a lot. You could go for all power damage on this guy, and then go like throw to stun stuff, and then run up and tech armor things. So there's that too, if you're looking for something silly to do. But anyway, this is about all I wanted to show this guy. You get the idea. Warp throw wins you games, especially against bosses. Go for Cerberus on, or not Cerberus, Reapers against this guy. Cerberus would be okay too. Geth would be okay too, I guess. This guy he's pretty good all around, so he's not like, you can't rely just on powers like the Adept. You do need to use your gun a little bit, so it's a balance, like I said, jack of all trades, master of none. You gotta kind of fall in the middle, and just do what you gotta do to get points and stuff. And right here you see again, we're all wailing on this Banshee. She's going down, no problem. Especially when she gets to armor. She's screwed then. But as you get that barrier right there, she can't be affected by powers or melee when that happens, or ammo effects either. I think incendiary ammo stops working when she's in that mode. So But yeah, this guy's beast. So hopefully I see more people playing this guy. I never ever see human sentinels, and they're really good. So anyway, this is build for beginners, human sentinel edition, phalanx warp throw to for the win, and I'll see you on the next episode. Before I go, I guess I almost forgot. Just let me know what you want to see next. So I am out of pre-recorded stuff, so let me know which class you want to see. Maybe a recommendation. I do think I want to use the infiltrator with the mantis. It's just the best common uncommon sniper rifle. Not necessarily the best for them, but the best common uncommon sniper rifle. Best common gun, I think, as well would be the mantis. But let me know what you want to see there, and then for other guides as well. I wanted to do a guide, obviously revise the map guides, and then finish them. I know I got to Hydra, and then I stopped there. So I want to finish those and revise the old ones. Maybe do like a revisal video, and then go through the power combo guide again with all of the correct information. I know there was a few mistakes in the last video, and they've completely changed how tech explosions work. Those being cryo explosions and fire explosions and tech bursts. Those all work differently now. But beyond that, I don't know what you guys want to see. I thought maybe a video on how the wave budget works, like how the game picks which stuff to spawn and how. I do have all of those spreadsheets courtesy of Sionin, because Sionin's awesome. For those of you who don't know, Sionin is a guy in the forums who is very well known for having all of his spreadsheets. This is a strange thing that you can do. You get back up if you get husked. If you let them throw you to the ground, I think you get back up. I'm not sure exactly, but it's kind of nice. See you there, tech armor, because I was about to get pooped on by the people's elbow, and then I get tech armor out of it. And that extra survivability, don't rule it out. I would have died there if I wasn't sorry. So, but yeah. So let me know just what videos you want to see in general. I'll see you later.